Leslie Meredith with Breakbulk Events and Media here at Breakbulk Europe. We've just finished an air cargo solutions panel, and I have Pavel from deugro here in the studio with me. Welcome.
Thank you, Leslie. I'm excited to be here.
Well, I'm so glad you're here. So tell us, give us some high points from your session.
Well, I think it was a very interesting session, and I'm actually very grateful that Breakbulk gives a platform to address the challenges that the project community is facing with air freight these days.
Yeah.
And the two main pain points that I would highlight is first, more of like an immediate problem that we have to deal with is shortage of heavy lift ramp aircrafts. These are your Antonovs and Ilyushin 76s. This is a big problem that we have to deal with, that our client have to deal with after the war that has started last year in the Ukraine. Unfortunately, a majority of the available commercially aircrafts in the world has disappeared from the market. There is not a lot we have remaining to work with. So this is one thing I think it was very important to build awareness on. And second point is more of a mid to long term issue is the Boeing 747, which, as you know, the production of this aircraft has been discontinued. So with the time, in mid to long term, we'll see the number of these aircrafts reducing. And I think it's also important to create that awareness among shippers, among freight forwarders on what to expect.
What's the loading on that?
747 can take up to 120 tons gross payload.
Is it?
Oh, it's a nose loader if this is what you're at.
It's a nose loader.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking, and that's the problem.
Yes, you
right?
Get it right on
we
the head.
get rid of that, and now what? We only have the conventional.
Exactly.
Right?
Side loaders. Which are efficient in terms of price per kilo, but they're not really positioned for oversized cargo. For your piping, for example, which is long.
It doesn't fold, does it?
It doesn't. No.
So, what's the solution? What are you entertaining?
I think first of all, after we've observed the situation for more than a year already, we kind of see that it's unfortunately here to stay. There is no immediate, easy solution to this problem. I think my answer to this would be collaboration is the key point. First of all the parties involved in the process need to understand that the resources are limited. What we found helpful is engaging our engineering team in discussions with the clients, in discussions with the carriers, and through that we were able to help our clients maybe to reduce the dimensions, to remodel the transport configuration of the cargo, and maybe move it in a smaller aircraft and maybe save money through that, and that also adds some operational flexibility. So I think it's a big value proposition these days when we have a limited pool of big ramp aircraft like Antonov 124.
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to start early for that,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
That's not a last minute.
No, ideally, we would like to get involved on the pre-design stages.
Yes.
The earlier the clients come to us with their requirements, the greater are the chances for optimization, the greater are the chances that they will have the solution on the date where they need it. So absolutely, that's one of the most important points, and this was actually my last advice to the audience. If you have to deal with transportation of critical cargo by air, come to subject matter experts as early as possible, provide as detailed input as possible, and this will allow us to help you guys.
Yeah, I understand that. So, could have been a misperception. I could be wrong.
Let's see.
I thought in most cases, the big aircraft were used when it was in sort of an emergency situation, when something's broken, we need to fly in a replacement part, something big, replacement part. But it sounds to me like there are also cases where it is being planned for ahead of time. Now, is that a contingency or is it part of the main transport plan?
I think most of the time it's a contingency.
Okay.
I think
okay.
there are a lot of situations where our clients are smart enough to think in advance that what happens if we need to move this cargo by air. For example, we had a big client from power industry, and they had a new product which they were designing, and they knew they will have to move it around the world by air. So they've come to us and asked, what do we need to do to, be prepared to move it by air. Initially, they were looking at Antonov 124 and moving it by charters, but after looking at it with our engineers team, we helped them to redesign the transport arrangement, and it's 747 loadable. They can move it on scheduled flights now. It's I think it's a big achievement. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Okay. Love that. So, last question. How's your experience been at Breakbulk Europe so far?
I love it. I love it. Yeah. It's such a buzz here. No, it was amazing. Also, it was my first time at the panel. I've enjoyed this experience.
Oh,
it was
good.
great. It was great.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. That's wonderful. Well, we hope you have just as good of a day tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Leslie.
And
Looking
so
forward to
nice
that.
to talk to you.
Likewise. Thank you.
Okay.